the people in the group. That's been so awesome. Yeah, getting to know them all better, and in a different way. That's the biggest one. It doesn't sound so big when I say it, but it feels really wonderful. And the second one, I can't think of another one right now, but I'm sure there is something. So somebody else go ahead with theirs.
And any difficulty or new learning for you, Margaret Ann, or something, a hurdle you've kind of had to jump over? Margaret Ann, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
No.
It'd be good for you to come in closer.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
No, there hasn't been. It's a fairly free-flowing, easygoing kind of curriculum that's easy to do.
That's good feedback. Thanks. Yeah, and thanks to Mark.
Yes, yes. So there's, the stretches a little bit because it's a small group and there's a new way of relating and being sort of responsible to bring the curriculum. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing is getting to know the people. That's been wonderful. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay. Thanks, Fred.
So I've had, so it's been a really positive experience. So there's a couple of wins. I mean, I think just the fact that we're only a technology, like we're using technology to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that, there was like some concern, but I have to say that the win is honestly, it's Zoom, because we really get to stay focused on each other's faces on the screen. And I think that makes a huge difference. And we really state, I mean, it's really stated. I know it's stated in the agreements, the different things that we read there, to turn off technology. But it's funny because we're using technology. So it's like, turn off all other technology. But we've had to really, it's like you really bring everybody together and say, this is your sacred moment, and give everyone here their time. Like, we all are worthy of that 2 hours that we spend together, right? So that's been a really good win. And another really good win is that now within the group, there's a lot of serendipitous things going on. So some people that may be experiencing different things, there's somebody else who has experienced a similar thing. So they're now also communicating as a community outside of just the meeting, to help each other through, and they've all become sort of friends a little bit, right? So that's been a couple of really good wins, I think. And we had somebody whose mother died suddenly. Eric's girlfriend's mother died suddenly just before our meeting last time. So we were able to do a round, like we did it's almost like where everybody prays at the same time for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so incredibly powerful, and everybody just felt really lifted after that. So that was pretty spectacular. That's a couple of wins. Because I know that you worry if you're not in the same room that you may not have that same experience, but it's really working out well. One of the challenges that we have is we're choosing, because we call ourselves almost like a study group, we're choosing 5 pages to study, and there's a lot of curriculum that we have to get through. And then sometimes we're squeezing that 15 or 20 minutes to get to the readings and stuff like that. So there's not really, it could be a fuller discussion on that, but we get through everything and there's never a complaint, right? Anyway, that's the positives and the growth things.
Very cool. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Beautiful. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, thanks, Lena.
You can hear me, right?
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, yay! For me, it's been interesting as a leader champion, just because I've got the online Fred and Sonia, is being part of their support group and in whichever way, shape, or form, which is awesome. And the challenge is getting a hold of people sometimes, so because everybody's busy. So that's the part of, doing my best not to micromanage, because I know I don't like that. But at the same time, meeting deadlines, meeting requirements of the program at best that we can. So I would say sometimes that's the entanglement part of figuring out how to keep it flowing, making sure the information's getting out. I'm always really pleased to hear back, how the groups are doing. And then I have FOMO, fear of missing out of what's happening in the groups because I'm not participating in them. So, but at some point, I will drop into one of the meetings and be able to experience it that way as part of the team. So I'm looking forward to when that timing works out for all of us. So yeah, I think it's a learning experience for sure, because it's multi-tiered, but at the same time, we're all a team of being together and sharing the love from the top down and back up again, because it goes back and forth.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah. And, you also, as Fred was saying, it's really a different place because you're using technology all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Aisha, hello. You get donuts. Welcome. We're just doing a check-in, a couple of wins and maybe some hurdle or some sort of, loop that you've or hoop you've had to jump through as well. So I think Margaret Ann, Fred, and Lena are the ones who have who've gone so far. So you can jump in, and thank you for being here. You can jump in at any time. So who'd like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Give Aisha a chance to catch her breath. Hi, Aisha. I'm going to start with the hurdle. It's not with people. It's just that we're not present together and we're not using technology. It's remote. but I feel this great connection to Michelle and to Linda. And the hurdle of seeing people may change because Linda, I don't know whether you know this, Michelle, but Linda said we might be planning to get a carpool going and come and visiting the center in person. And that would be wonderful. So that's the only hurdle, is not knowing the actual participants other than Linda and Michelle, which they're wonderful. And the win is these two great co-facilitators. I have even closer, how close can we get, Michelle? A closer connection to Michelle, and also getting to know Linda better as well as we speak personally. And she even said to me, if you're coming up to Sudbury, you can stay at my house. So just renewing and enhancing and deepening the friendship and the connection to Linda and also to Michelle, whom, I just adore them both.
Nice. Yeah, we were joking about Judy becoming like Charlie Shepherd, which Fred and Michelle, you missed, but Charlie Shepherd, who's the head of practitioners, likes to go on road trips. And so we're thinking, Judy is head of practitioners will now start taking road trips.
I'd have to be retired and making enough money and a lot of money to be able to do that. So that may not happen soon because I've always said I'll work till I drop, which will be soon.
No. Thanks, Judy.
I will continue with this. We are seriously. I felt so blessed. What the win-win-win for me and all of us is that I was really working with these people spiritually, individually, and when the home group was mentioned, I knew exactly who would be there right away. And it's all these individuals that I was working with individually. And when this group got together, within seconds, I knew it was the Northern Lights because I felt it. It was like, wow. And not only are we open, but we've already got 2-3 people wanting to come in.
Excellent.
So, and these people, and we said it, they're just going to show up. And we're open to it, and they have, and ready for this experience, which is the joy of being, right? Mm-hmm. And we're noticing a lot of healing already. At the first meeting, I made them all declare, and I declare, they all declared, and I'm telling you guys, within the next meeting, it was all demonstrated for everyone. One bought a house, and when I tell you the story about this house, you will uplift. Anyway, she got a house within a month, and she's moved in already. A couple of people declared things, and they said they came true within 4 weeks. So very inspiring and very uplifting and perfect timing for everyone, dear. I'm not seeing anything that needs to be dealt with right now. The few things came up, and one-on-one was, how does it feel? Do you need to react now? And the answer was yes, 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 yes. And he reacted, and I'm telling you guys, it was his nephew. He was suicidal. And if I tell you what he's doing,
Oh, Michelle, we lost you.
I know. I'm in. He's doing very, very, very well. It's a 360. It's a whole. So yeah. So it's all good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the group is just the best thing that could happen to Sudbury. See the butterfly that just came through? And I'm so grateful to be a part of it, and so grateful that Judy is so supportive. And Judy, I'm actually going to ask the group next meeting if you can come and join. We can have you join with us in her Facebook group.
Okay.
Just so if you have anything to add to our group or send or anything, that we would like you to be a part of that.
Lovely, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
And so we'll hear from Ellen or Aisha.
The challenge that I've had has only just been time in the summer to get in touch as much as I wanted to. But beyond that, all 4 of the leaders are amazing in communicating and being in touch with their group. When I see the emails, and they're so beautifully written, and everything is everybody's enthusiastic and engaged. And it's exciting to see and feel the potential of this growing come the fall too. So that's really, really exciting. So it feels really good. And I'm visiting both groups next week, so that's cool too.
Ooh, nice. Nice, thanks.
Start writing this week. Yeah. Yes. Oh, it's all good. Yes, yes.
And Aisha.
What do I have to say about this? It's going well, but like I don't know if we communicate as like I feel like when I'm not I send random emails between. I feel like we disconnect, like in a way. And I don't know if Margaret Ann kind of felt the same way, because she was saying like, oh, maybe the meeting's too far apart. It's partly because it's summer, like everybody's really busy. So Margaret Ann was saying like, maybe the meeting's too far away and maybe we should have one sooner. And I didn't even like manage to respond to that. Like, I'm just saying it now because like things are so busy, but I feel like in between we kind of like are just disconnected. But then when we're together in the room, we feel connected. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like one of the members of our group mentioned that he has a way of like just like when he loves that connection when he's there, but then when he's in his life he kind of like avoids it, like shies away from it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Spirituality aspect, and like he loves it when he's in it, but when he's not there he kind of just, I don't know, like avoids it somehow. Like if there's a discomfort but there's a comfort. So, and I really related to that when he said that. I was thinking that's how I am too, I think.
Well, and I think we can all get busy with our lives and be focused on other things. And it's like, okay, and then, oh, I'm dropping in here, which is, absolutely fine and part of the, part of being human. I think one of the things, though, for us as leaders is to still put forth the communication for leaders to be communicating with each other. But if you're sending emails or texts saying, hey, thinking of you, love you, whatever it is, to your group members, you don't need to get a response, but I would say don't stop that kind of communication, because also, part of that, oh, I don't think of it outside of here, yes, can be a busyness, but it can also be, I can only take so much connection, right? That's what I'm comfortable with, and that's familiar, and we just want to lay the field, that fertile field of the love is always there. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Cool. And it sounds like, I'm so grateful. I just think, wow, we are on the cusp of creating something so potent and so filled with love and connection for people. And it's amazing because, like, if you think about it, some of these people in our groups, like, other members will never meet them. And yet that field of love is connecting us all. So it's pretty cool, actually. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is, first of all, we are going to be opening up all the groups, except I think the online group is full, but the other groups, you all have open chairs. And Linda and Carol are starting their knitting group. I know, I was about to say it again. I call it the Stitch and Bitch, but it's not. It was just, I think Judy caught that S coming out of my mouth. The knitting group, Knit One, Purl Two group. They're starting up in October, which is the perfect time for us to invite the community to come into and onboard some new people into groups. So Michelle, you said you had 3 people. Is that correct?
Well, I definitely have 2, but there's a third that's interested. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we meet again September 11th or 12th, I think. But I'll start sending emails a couple of weeks before.
Okay.
Just to get the information clear.
Okay, perfect. One of the things, so the people that are in the groups, and I don't know who they are, but I am wondering, because we never really did application forms, which was part of the thing, but I'm wondering if for new people coming on, and I'm open to this. Do we just get their name, address, telephone number, and email like we did and leave it at that? Or do you feel it's important to have application forms?
What other,
Yeah, I think,
what
go
other
ahead.
is on the application form? What's required?
Yeah.
The original application form that Mark sent out was quite detailed. Why do you want to be a part of a home group? What, you know, there were a few other questions as well. Sorry, I can't remember them off the top of my head. I can certainly send that to you. But it was more like, what, you know, what is your commitment? Why do you want to be a part of a home group? Where are your interests? That sort of thing.
Helen, would that still entail an interview with you?
Well, and you see, that's the thing, because that's something I want to discuss. Does it need to be an interview with me? Does it need to be the decision of the home group leaders that, yes, this is a fit? Like how much, I don't want to say autonomy, but
Helen, I'm just
yeah.
gonna, I think with the two leaders, I think that would be enough. And then if we have questions, to go to Judy or you, right? Because then you'd have all these, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think with the two leaders that there's enough consciousness to know if we, you know, and if we need support in that way, we can definitely go to our Judy or you.
Yeah, what I'm fine with that. What do the rest of you think?
Yeah.
Margaret Ann?
In the instance of, you have a new one.
Can't hear.
Come in further, Margaret Ann, come in closer.
Asha and I have a new one coming in, and I think I know who it is, but I'm not totally sure. So she sort of came to us, so we weren't really involved. So we're going on. Did you meet her?
Gail.
Gail. Yes, I know who it is.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm your recommendation, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's fine, but yeah, that's.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. Like, Gail started coming to meditation, and she was looking to be involved more. And at this point, it's like, how do you get people involved? The number one way, and this is actually what is also going to be part of the onboarding program for new members, is that the first suggestion is going to be get into a home group. So you're right. It sort of came through us to you.
I think that's fine. Like, I feel like we want, like, a lot of people don't know enough about the groups until they're in the group to answer so many questions. And I also don't want to intimidate people with like an application process. And I don't want people to feel like, you want to make people feel supported, and people might feel a little bit apprehensive. Like, I'm a leader and even I feel apprehensive sometimes. So like, I feel like we want to be kind of like open and loving and supportive and get their information and talk about the commitment, but also like, I don't know, maybe welcome them in no matter what, if they want to be involved. And then just like, we will work with that dynamic in the group, and then we'll continue to work with like Ellen or, you know, whoever to make sure that we iron out any kinks. And if there are, we can deal with that down the road. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like that, you know, it feels more relaxed, and it also feels a little more inviting to me.
And I think maybe the original intent of the application and the interview is just to say for people who are off the wall, for want of a better word.
Yeah, which we don't really have. Like, I don't feel like there's, you know, at this point, any loose cannons.
Definitely deal with issues as they come up.
Yeah.
And I think if it's a really large congregation where lots of people, you know, are on wait lists, there's more of a reason to kind of see who will work in the group, but we're not in that situation right now.
Right.
We're waiting to get into them and needing to process it.
Yeah. Yeah. How does everybody else feel about that?
Helen, I think as far as the application from, I'd have to relook at it, is more an outline to gather the information of the person that wants to be in the home group, but also to establish that, you know, they're making a commitment to being part of this group, not just to drop in when and if they feel like it, but just to lay out the parameters of the purpose of the group, that it is a nurturing community, you know, something that is there for them and the members, that like setting up what sort of space it is, right? Not that we want all this type of information, but also just to put that out there up front as to what they are committing to and agreeing to.
Yes. And I think that our brochure on home groups that we can give to people outlines that. I'll double check that on Sunday, look it over again to make sure that that's really clear. Yeah. I think that's what the idea of the brochure was, which we can, you know, always send to Fred and Sonia and Michelle and Linda so that they can have that as a print off.
Right.
Or send to people if people are interested.
Okay. So we have one person waiting to go into the online group. So would we need to wait until that group breaks into two groups then? So probably in the new year, right?
Well, that'll be next. When did we start? April, May?
Right.
Well, it's going to be a while, yeah.
Be a while, okay.
Yeah.
I've got other people expressing interest in the online group as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's just going to be, unless you guys decide to maybe divide in March or a little bit earlier, which I'm open to having you do so if you've got a lineup there. That's fine. So just to touch back, just to wrap that up. So what I'm hearing is that giving people the information about the home groups, which I think Gail did get that brochure on the home groups, and then you guys just making sure you get people's name, address, email, telephone number, and that is sent to your home group leader, your leader champion, and then we have a record of that. And that also, I think it's important to let people know that because I now do a drip email campaign, which is 4 emails outlining as an introduction. So the first one, they get a little bit of information on affirmations and how to use affirmations. The second one is meditation. The third one is a little more information about prayer and contemplation.
Are you sending those to us?
No. These are to any new email addresses we capture.
I'd like a copy of that.
Means I have to put you. I don't know how to do that. Actually, I have to put you in the email campaign because you're already on our other list.
If they come up to us and say we received this, I'd like to know what I'm talking about. Or
well,
you know what I mean?
Nothing that you have to talk about. What you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Every time we get a new email address, so we have a book where people sign in their name and email address.
Yeah.
Or now from your home groups as well, because this is set up, and I should actually add those people into it, is instead of going directly onto our email campaign that comes out on Wednesdays and Fridays, before they even get those emails are 4 emails from me. One saying, hey, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. Here's what we're about. And here's something that we teach that you can start using in your life. So it's all about upserving them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Helen, but the ones that are already in the group, have they received these emails?
No, I'm just realizing they never did because I started this campaign after the email groups, after your group started.
Love the idea. Maybe we should send them.
Yes. So what I will get from Ellen and Judy and Lena is their names and email addresses. I will put them into that campaign.
Perfect.
So I have it, Michelle. I have your list.
Thank you. Yes.
Can we get on that list as well then?
Yeah, Helen has the list. I'll resend it to you from the group members.
Okay, thanks. And Fred, you're asking, you want to be on the list?
Yeah, I'm thinking Sonia and I as well. Like, I'm just thinking as a group leader, if the members are receiving this, I think it's an amazing idea. But can we see them as well? I don't have to be on the list, but if I can just get a copy so that I know what they've received, that'd be good.
But
I will put you all in that first email campaign so that you get those 4 emails from me.
Awesome. Thank you.
You'll start getting those next week.
Helen, I see value in certainly myself and probably other practitioners as well, knowing what's being said because it helps as a talking point when we're talking to people.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good point. So I'll let the practitioner, or Judy, can you let the practitioners know for me that I'm going to put their names into that drip email campaign so that they know what's being sent to new people.
Okay.
And I'll put all the leader champions in as well.
So the question regarding our current list of group members.
Can't hear.
We can't hear anything. I have to keep turning it up.
So the question regarding the emails of our current group members, some of the group members have already been members of the center for a while. So this is people joining the groups who aren't already getting our regular center emails.
Correct.
So not the full list, just
just new people. Yeah. The last email will be an invitation to attend a Wrap with the Rev in October, plus a free download of an ebook that has all of our spiritual practices that is now going to be on
that is great.
Yeah. It's just being reworked, and then that is also going to be part of a way of capturing emails on our website. We're doing a lot of redesign on the website as well. So anyways, it's all about, here's what we offer you, and this is who we are.
Helen, is that ebook going to be accessible to everybody on the website?
Yes, they will have to put their email address in first to receive it.
I'm just thinking of people like Shar, who's just come back to the center. And I was talking to her about it because she was asking me some questions. And I said, oh, this ebook is perfect for you.
Yep, I'll be announcing it.
Okay.
But people are going to have to put their email address in order to get it, because not everybody is on our email list.
Right.
And this is a way of capturing it. But yeah, even if you already are on our email list, you'll have to put your email in to get it.
So the drip that you're going to send to the practitioners, is that going to be in 4 separate pieces or all at once?
Once a week. No, because I have to put you into the campaign.
Okay.
So once a week for 4 weeks.
Fair enough.
You will receive the email from me.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll all see it. Yeah, cool.
Great, thanks.
That's good. That's really good. So we'll start the onboarding for new people in September. We'll have sign-up lists, and then that'll correspond with Carol and Linda getting started in October. And then the other thing I wanted to say to the home group leaders is also start thinking about who might be a co-leader with you when your group split off. Right?
Yeah.
Because, like Michelle and Linda in a year, right? You're going to be running 2 groups. Who do you want in your group now to be a co-leader with you when that happens? Same with Fred and Sonia, Ellen or Margaret Ann and Aisha. So that's just something just to have percolating in the back of your mind.
Already is. With both Fred and I, we both looked at each other and go, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like I said, it's an uplift. To me, that's the biggest uplift when you have trust in someone like that and know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's uplifting for them and for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Helen, is this a good time to ask for testimonials, or would you prefer we do it?
Aisha has a question.
Okay, I have a question. So, are we going to be putting information about each home group on the website?
Yes.
And then potentially like
Yep.
I'm interested in joining this home group.
Yep.
My details.
Yep, that's part of their website redesign. It's all in the works.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a really important part. It's also mentioned in the ebook,
Okay.
Around, we offer home groups as well, different ways that people can be part of communities. So yeah, for sure.
It might be cool to have like information about each separate group, and then even like a little bio on the leaders, so they know who they're going to be like meeting and being with. I don't know, just an idea.
Well, for sign up, absolutely. So yeah, if you guys want to put your bios together, and we can put that as part of the sign up for sure.
Cool.
That's a great idea. Thanks.
Is this the time to ask for testimonials, or do you want us to do this individually with our home group leaders?
No, I think put it out there now, Judy, because other people will be watching the recording as well.
Oh, okay. Helen, at our Leader Champion meeting last Thursday with Lena and Ellen and I, asked that we approach you and ask you for testimonials. Actually, I sent Linda and Michelle an email asking for individual testimonials for our website. You don't have to send one from everybody, but if we had something from each group, 1 or 2 from each group, it would be wonderful to have on our website the testimonials about their experience, their positive experience with the home groups. So you can send those in whenever you have them. Wait, no pressure, no hurry, but whenever you're back together again or communicating, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, and that's for part of the website, Aisha, because people want to know, they want testimonials as well. So, yeah.
So just to remind us, maybe when we meet again, when Lena sends out the curriculum, maybe there could be something in there to mention it as well.
Yeah, because we just had this meeting last Thursday, so everything's moving pretty quick. So yes, I will. But in the meantime, yeah, because you can include it when you set up for your next meeting. So that'll be part and parcel of the curriculum info and whatever else you communicate to your group just before your next meeting. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because I'm arriving just a couple of days before my next meeting from Portugal. So.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It may not be top of mind. So anyway.
Yeah,
well, and that's part of center business, right? That can be part of the center business. The center's asking for people to send in their testimonials or give you their testimonials so you can send them in.
Yeah, perfect place for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I just, I wanted to make the last part of the meeting I wanted to talk a little bit about leadership. I had the opportunity to go to, I went to Edmonton a couple of weeks ago for 2 days to work with a couple who really understand the difference between a transactional company, and that would be a company that, sells a product and then, and you pay for it and you receive the product, versus a transformational company. And really, CSL Toronto is a transformational company. I mean, that is the product that we are selling to people. So what I did was I actually created, I'm going to split the screen here, and you will, for Fred and Michelle and anybody who's watching this, you are going to receive, I'll send you the PowerPoint along with the recording. So everybody will get the PowerPoint notes as well as the recording of this meeting. So one of the things I love this saying, there's a lot of love to be discovered. And I think when we can come from that mindset of, in anything that we're doing, what is the love that is here to be revealed? And then I have our agenda on here as well. But I wanted to talk about, you know, what does it mean to be a leader? And so I know that Michelle and Fred, you can't see this. So I'm going to, these are quotes that I pulled from Forbes magazine on their top leadership quotes. And I chose ones that I think really apply to transformation. Leaders live by choice, not accident. Mark Gorman. Leadership is an action, not a position. Donald McGannon. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is about growing others. Jack Welch. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves. Lao Tzu. Become the kind of leader that people would follow voluntarily, even if you had no title or position. Brian Tracy. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. John F. Kennedy. Successful leaders see the opportunity in every difficulty rather than the difficulty in every opportunity. Reed Markham. If your actions, I've got it doubled. It must be really important here. The duplicate. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams. So, you know, I think what I really want to impart here is that, you know, this is what I see in all of you. I honor these qualities and the work that you are doing. I think it's so, I'm so grateful that you've stepped up into leadership in the center, and that, you know, I see these qualities being exhibited, and that's so important for me. And then I wanted to go through just a couple things around what it means to be a leader, and I have a couple of points on each slide. One is self-managing, and it's hard to manage others effectively if you're not aware of your own emotions and reactions. Self-managing means being able to prioritize your goals and being responsible for accomplishing these objectives. As an effective leader, you must be able to regulate your time, attention, and emotions while remaining aware of your strengths, weaknesses, and potential sources of bias. So you can let that kind of land for you. And then I kind of want to talk about the 4 points that I'm going to go over and just see what, you know, what comes up for you. The second point is acting strategically. A forward-thinking, open-minded approach is necessary for leaders. You can cultivate strategic thinking by being curious and genuinely interested in the organization you are involved with, being flexible in your mindset and trying new approaches and ideas, maintaining a positive outlook, asking the question, what love is needing to be discovered here? And then 2 more points, being an effective communicator. Powerful leaders know when to talk and when to listen. If people don't understand or aren't aware of your expectations, they will fall short. Therefore, the more specific you can be, the better. And I will take full accountability and responsibility for the miscommunication in actually where this meeting was happening this morning. You need to be able to communicate on all levels, one-on-one, as well as via phone, email, and social media. Communication is built on a steady flow of verbal and nonverbal exchanges of ideas and information. And the 4th point is being accountable and responsible. Effective leaders hold themselves 100% accountable and take responsibility for their own mistakes, and they expect others to do the same. They can work within established procedures and be productive and efficient in their decisions. Leaders appreciate the importance that everything is energy. When our minds are cluttered with resentment and we are out of integrity personally or professionally, we contribute to the failures of the organizations. Leaders understand the importance of constituting themselves. So, any ideas, any thoughts, anything that lands for you in these 4 points before I move on?
Well, just that it all feels good. And when it feels good, you know it's the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this all feels really good to me. And great work, Helen.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it was interesting because, and I'm going to talk about constitution and integrity in a minute, but one of the things that this guy was talking about was, you know, transactional companies, all they need to do is follow a formula to make money. They don't have to be in integrity. They don't have to be constituted. They don't have to take accountability and responsibility. There's a formula for making money, and if you follow that, that's great. You'll make money. Now, if you want to make more money, you do need to be constituted. But transformational companies, he was talking about how important it is that every single person who is in a leadership position is constituted, that they are taking 100% accountability and responsibility for the success or the moving forward, however you want to put it, of the organization. And that's a very different kind of mindset than, you know, just working in a place where there isn't that kind of structure. And so one of the things that I really came away with that landed for me so clearly is, wow, number one, am I truly constituted? Am I being 100% responsible and accountable? And am I setting a very clear structure of expectations for everyone who is in a leadership position in the center? Because if it's not clear, then we don't have, like, and I've got a picture of a bicycle here that is all the parts are in place to move forward. And constitution means wholeness or a really solid foundation. So here's what happens if we don't have structure, and Fred and Michelle, you can't see this, but basically it is a bicycle with a flat bent tire. There's no, the structure has fallen and collapsed, so the bicycle is unable to move forward. And so each one of us, whether we are home group leaders, as the director, as a leader champion, we are a spoke in the wheel. We are so important, all of us together. And it's so important that we have leaders who are constituted and really understand how integral they are as a spoke in the wheel. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love this. I just thought of King Arthur's Round Table, where everybody is working together as a team. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is beautiful. So the wheel and the spokes, yeah.
Yeah. So, integrity, to have this beautiful, you'll see, Michelle and Fred, that there's a beautiful bicycle wheel with every spoke, so constituted. There's this state of integrity. And, integrity is a very subjective thing. We all have our own ideas of what integrity is, and none of them are wrong. And all of them are right. The most important thing about integrity is that we are taking 100% responsibility and accountability for being constituted. So, go ahead. I hear somebody. Oh, did somebody want to say something to that? Or are you good? Okay. So, what I wanted to do, and I'm going to stop the sharing here so that I can actually write on this document, is I wanted us to come up together as a group. What are the principles that create a constitution for the home group leaders? Because if we create that set of expectations now together, then this is a document going forward, and it is a living, breathing document. Somebody else might bring in another amazing idea later on who becomes a home group leader. But we need a structure of expectations that we can all work within to say, yeah, this is what I'm willing. And of course, it's always choice, right? Free will choice. But if we create this together, it's like, okay, yeah, I am 100% accountable and responsible to these principles of a home group leader or a leader champion or me as the director. So throw them out there and I'll type them up.
Helen?
What's in front of us here? It's odd what's in front of us.
Probably nothing's in front of you.
It says host your own Zoom meeting and sign up here.
You don't have that.
Oh, I don't have it. It looks like I'm out of the meeting, but I can hear you.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see anything. I don't have the bar with all of us on the bottom.
Just click out of that, Judy, and you should.
How do I click out of it? Go back? Like the arrow? I don't want to leave the meeting. Hold on. Help? Oh, no. Okay, I'm done.
Up in the corner.
Okay, hold on. It's launching again. I'm launching again.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, now so am I.
Okay, I'm going to sign in again. I'm going to have to. Well, it's not doing anything. I'm going to sign in.
You can still hear you. You're still on.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't see anything.
Interesting.
Oh my God, you like Michelle and I.
Yeah, because I see you all.
I'm going to sign in again. I'm out. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you just have to get out of that window.
Yeah, I don't know why it came up. Anyway.
I don't know. It's a Zoom thing, I think. So curious, like what?
Woo.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just would like you to go over again your definition of constitution.
It means being whole and having a strong foundation.
Okay.
So it's a set, it's like a wholeness within you.
Okay.
And you're standing on a really solid foundation so that you can touch back in with yourself and saying, yeah, am I in this place of constitution? Am I in this place of wholeness? Am I in that place of integrity for myself?
Thank you.
So, what are some of the principles that you want?
Love.
I don't think she heard me.
Sorry, I need you to ask the question clearly again because I was focused on what I couldn't see.
Okay, so I want us to create a structure of principles and an outline of expectations for ourselves as leaders, as home group leaders.
Walk the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, walk the talk.
Oh,
Walk the talk, yeah.
yeah.
What about think of our principles in the center or spiritual principles?
Well, I think an alignment with truth, right? Some kind of an alignment. Walk the talk is really the bottom line. Like, really live this, regardless if you're at the center or if you're not at the center,
And do the work, live the result.
Yeah, like do the work.
Okay, and what is the work? Let's get real specific.
Practice, daily practice.
So, daily spiritual practice. Is that
Yeah.
what I heard?
Yeah.
Or I'll just put spiritual practice. How's that?
Yeah.
Engage in spiritual practice.
Daily.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
Sometimes when driving down the road and there's a lot of traffic, you have to do a lot of extra practice.
Okay.
But it's true, you have to.
Yeah. What about self-care? Is that important for a leader?
Yes, when you talked about love as one of the, because I don't have it in front of me, but when you mentioned love,
Yeah.
and I thought self-love first, because you've nothing to give someone else if you're not fully
In love.
engaged in your own self-care.
So being an example and being an obvious example.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So how do you want me to put that? Being an obvious example of?
Well, it was just kind of a sub set of
Of self-care, Helen.
Yeah. So
Yeah, self-care and self-love are critical. And what comes underneath that. Okay,
I've got love to yourself first and then to others. Walk the talk. Engage in spiritual practice. Self-care.
Consistency?
Say it again, Aisha.
Consistency?
Consistency. What about in terms of learning and growth? Like, is it important that leaders take a class at the center?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
That's part of the alignment with the goals and the mission too. It's being engaged with the with everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what else?
Inclusiveness. Is that one?
Say it again.
Inclusiveness.
What?
Being inclusive.
Oh, inclusive. Yes, for sure.
Everyone, everywhere,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I like that. I'm going to just put that.
Everyone, everything, everywhere.
I think the word support comes in. It can be under consistency or inclusiveness, or support is like supporting the program, supporting financially. Like support covers a whole lot of areas, and we can break that down.
Well, first of all, would you say asking for support when you need it?
Yes.
That's another great one. Mm-hmm.
And then, and what else did you say? Support.
So giving and receiving. So the asking for support is the receiving. The giving of support, supporting by being at the center, being at Sunday celebrations, supporting classes, supporting financially, supporting the goals and the missions in whatever way we can, because we all have different lives.
Would you say it's important to have that leaders of the center have recognizable tithing?
Whatever one's ability.
Yeah.
Another one. Honesty, integrity, and transparency. Did you do that?
Yeah, got it. Honesty, integrity, and Okay, anything else?
Ability to communicate. And that's sort of, and that's why I wanted the drip emails, because they're talking points. So knowing what we offer and being aware of everything, or as many things as we can that are going on. So just knowing what we are offering. So being able to communicate, articulate.
I think that's two things, actually. Tell me what you think, you guys. One is your own or our own willingness to take responsibility for communicating, but also taking, how did I want to say it, as well as knowing what's going on at the center. Do you see that is that one or two things?
It can always be
Two
broken
things.
down.
Yeah, one is information coming to us, and then our ability to disseminate that information.
Right.
So how do you want me to put that down?
So read it again. Read one of them again so we can.
I don't have anything written down yet. I'm waiting.
Okay, so one is effectively knowing what's happening at the center, like knowing what's happening, and then the other one is communicating on a consistent basis what is happening at the center. Does that make sense if you did it in those two steps?
And communicating. Yeah.
Because people do ask us when we meet them, sort of off the cuff, like, what is Science of Mind, or what is this center about, and what do you do? And it's just the more language that I have, the better I'm able to communicate.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And the more I'm kept informed, of what's going on, the better I'm able to disseminate information as well.
I have another one.
Yeah.
Not sure how it's worded. Hopefulness or in alignment with cheerfulness. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. There's an attitude of being up, or no, not even, well, maybe enthusiasm, but cheerfulness, hopefulness. You take it from there.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we were saying in seeing things as an opportunity for love to be expressed or revealed versus getting stuck in a sense of helplessness or despair, or I might be thinking of something completely different than what you're trying to say there, Margaret Ann.
Yeah, sort of. It's more of a disposition.
Yeah. Well, are other people comfortable with an attitude of cheerfulness?
I'm getting from that is being aware of the energy you bring into the room, because everything is energy, and it includes that state of mind, that disposition that we're in. It kind of reminds me of when I was in Kelowna. The ministers were talking about, get up, dress up, and show up. Just like it's the presence that each of us bring with us wherever we are. So it's an energy.
Brilliant. Does that?
I agree, but it has to be authentic, because yes. I think because people feel a phony a mile away. So if you're not happy, then, or if you're not feeling enlightened, or if you're going through a particular substance or something's happening, circumstance, then you have to, again, do the work to clear that up so that you can show up authentically, because we can't also be walking around like, what's that movie called? Stepford Wives, where we're all like smiley and, oh, isn't it lovely? But inside we're like, because we have, so I think it's an authenticity, a truth, right? So yeah, step in our truth, but show up, but that's sometimes in truth, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we think that people don't, we think that we need to hide something, and in reality, that's the part that makes us human, right? That's when we tell our story that this happened, this is where I was, and this is how I managed to come through it. Sometimes you're in that process and you're going to be around people. Right. I don't think it does us a favor to pretend that we're, or to show up with that face on. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're all saying the same thing, but it has to be authentic, I think.
This is why I had the word hopefulness at the beginning. You can be in a place of transformation and stuff, but still be hopeful, perhaps. Does that make sense?
Yes. Here's what I would say. So I think it goes back to, and Aisha, you're kind of getting thrown into practitioner 101. And it's
welcome, Aisha.
It's fantastic.
Close the door. No, just kidding.
I think it is the understanding that we're in a leadership position. And just like we say to the practitioners, you never get up and tell your story when you're in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. You are a leader, and people are looking to you to have already worked through it. You're never working through your stuff on stage. So I think there's a difference between, here we are, we get to land and we get to bleh. As opposed to when you walk into the center or you walk into your home group, you are the leader. And so you park your stuff, your shiitake mushrooms at the door.
Hopefully you've worked through them. That's right.
Yeah. So there's a difference between, we get to show up and support each other, and we can really land in it. You can land in your stuff with your friends. You can really land, like we can hold each other able and really be supportive for one another in that way. And that's what I really want. But as a leader, I can't show up on a Sunday and be working through my stuff.
But in the home groups, that's different, correct? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, in the home groups, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's because people are there to work through their stuff. But I would say as a leader of the home group, you can ask for those extra grace required moments, for sure. Mm-hmm. You still got to be in leadership. It's a kind of a real fine line to walk. Is that making sense to people?
Mm-hmm.
I would think if I was a home group leader and I had some issue, I could be very vulnerable and ask for help, be in a different place than I would on a Sunday at the center. If I were, like, I would have to think it's home group leaders and members are all in the same place. That's my take on it.
Mm.
And that's not being a leader, that's being authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. I don't know. I'd like to hear from, because you're leader champion, so you're in a different place than the home group leaders. So I think it would be good to really hear from the home group leaders on this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's important to be in leadership and to not lose your shiitake mushrooms in the group. But also, I think there's something inauthentic about seeming like everything is always good with you and you've always just conveniently just worked through everything. Like, you're always fine because you've worked through everything already. And sometimes you are going through something, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being open about that, as long as you're not like losing it and dumping it on everyone.
Yes.
That's where I'm coming from, Aisha. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was in the home group leader training to a degree as well, that the leaders share and be open, be vulnerable, but not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think what Helen's trying to say is, like, when you go to a professional, and usually these professionals, most of them, are present and they're doing their work. And I think that's what we're trying to put across here, is that, while, I practices all day, but things do come up, but I rise above stuff and become present about the truth about it. And that's what we are. That's what we are. And I think that's the message we're trying to say, right? Just be present, be professional, and with integrity.
Yeah. Yeah. And so here's what I wrote down: being aware and taking responsibility for the energy you bring into the room.
Yeah.
So, that way, I could be really real in saying, yeah, you know what? I've had a really hard month and I've dealt with this, and this, and I'm still moving through it, and I could use some extra grace required moments. And be really real and authentic with that, but I don't have to lose really and that I lose my marbles somewhere else. And
Hello?
I'll just mute.
Sorry, I should put myself on mute.
That's okay.
It's gone.
None of us are on mute.
Yeah.
So Margaret Ann, does that support you in what you were trying to say?
Sorry, honey. We actually got logged out and just re-logged back in, so I missed that, Helen. Sorry, hon.
Oh, I just asked Margaret Ann if being aware and taking responsibility for the energy you bring into the room supports Margaret Ann and what she was trying to get across.
Yeah.
And add in.
Yeah.
Yes?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. Anything else?
I said, ha ha.
You're not here.
Oh,
Donuts.
we're eating donuts, you guys. It looked like a good donut. Okay, anything else you want to add to this this list?
It's pretty long.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think it covers everything. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I wanted to say something about being in integrity with each other as professionals, to be there for each other as well. Like, I think leaders, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, so if somebody needs, one of us needs, we know that we can pick up the phone and call, and being in integrity with that too. If you have something to say to somebody, say it to them directly. Like, all those things that are important, right? So with integrity with each other as fellow leaders as well. I don't know how that is exactly worded, but
I'm working on it.
I know you are.
I put support other leaders.
And be there for each other. Like,
yeah, I'm going to put be there for each other. Should I put present for each other as opposed to there? And then I'm putting as another bullet here, speak directly to other leaders if there is an issue you wish to clear up.
Yeah, and that may not even be a negative issue. It's just anything that you need to discuss.
Yep. Yep.
That's right out of the practitioner manual.
Exactly. It's the communication page of who to communicate directly with. Always go to the source of where the issue is, rather than talking to somebody else about the direct contact.
Yeah. But, and it's great, like, because this is going to be for other new leaders coming on as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, if we have this structure, this context, here are the expectations, then we can hold each other able to that. It's like, here. And it's also with the understanding for each of us, as well as anybody new who comes on, here it is. And here's the agreement. And we all have free will choice, right? If this, you feel you can't step up to that, then that's okay. It's okay. But you won't be a home group leader. It's like, because when the structure is created and it's held in integrity, then the home groups will really flourish. But if it's all kind of like we're all a bunch of broken spokes and there's no constitution there, then the home groups are not going to expand and move forward in the way that we'd like them to. So this is why I felt it was really important for us to be very clear on this as home group leaders. And, Sonia and Jackie and Hester, they can also add into this or comment on or respond to it, so that this is a great jumping off point for all of us. Do you see that?
I just want to add, and this we've included this in other words, but often we hear the word cliquishness, cliques, applied to what some people's perception of being at the center is like. And so I think when Margaret Ann said inclusiveness, but I'm just going to add the reaching out. Like, everybody is equal, and it's like the spokes in the wheel. Everybody is, all leaders, everybody is equal, basically. So reaching out to everybody and recognizing when someone, may feel left out.
Do you want me to put reaching out and recognizing? I'll put it under inclusiveness. Yeah. Everyone, everything, everywhere. Reaching out and recognizing new people or people who maybe are extra grace required.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How does that sound for everyone?
That's, yeah, that works.
Anybody else? Does that
I feel that way too, like no better, no lesser, but I walk with you sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's important to know. Nobody, we're all equal.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this. So do you want, I'll just reflect this back to you, see how it lands. Because I know Michelle and, none of you can see it right now. Love to yourself first and then to others. Walk the talk. Engage in spiritual practice daily. Self-care. Consistency. Take a class at the center. Inclusiveness. Everyone, everything, everywhere. Reaching out and recognizing new people or people who are extra grace required. Asking for support when you need it. Recognizable tithe to CSLTO. Honesty, integrity, and transparency. Effectively knowing what's happening at the center. Communicating to others what's happening at the center. Being aware and taking responsibility for the energy you bring into the room. Support other leaders. Be present for each other. Speak directly to other leaders if there is an issue you wish to clear up.
In other words, be a saint.
Or be accountable to yourself and check where you're out of integrity, right?
A saint on earth.
You left out walk on water, though.
What, you can't?
I didn't say you can't. It's just not on the list.
Should I put P.S. Walk on water?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
So how does that feel for people?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, Michelle, Fred?
Feels real good.
Feels great, yeah.
The words are powerful. The words have meaning and intent behind them.
Aisha, Margaret Ann, and Ellen? It's just like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, good, great. And Lena?
Yeah.
Judy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. So, 4 questions for you to take away for yourself. What do you love?
Are you sending these to us?
They will be sent to you, yeah. Oh, sorry, I realized I'm not back on the screen. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, I can share this. That didn't work. Sorry. Now I think I just screwed it up even more. So.
How about you just read it and then send us the PowerPoint? Does that work?
I will do that because now I've got more things happening. I'm like, holy moly. Okay. So it is, what do you love? And you can even put, what do you love about the home groups? Sorry, I'm trying to move this over now.
Full screen? No.
There we go. What can you learn to, again, really engage yourself in leadership? What decision can you make about yourself in a leadership position? So what I mean by that is, it's kind of like a declaration, like what can you declare and decide for yourself as you as a leader? And what do you do? What do you commit to do that is different from what you have done in the past? Just good things to think about and really ponder and, ask yourself, what can I do differently? That maybe, take a risk in a place that you haven't taken a risk before. So when
I'd like to add something to this. Just, a lesson that I was taught during studies and everything. And it's that, we treat and we treat and we treat, but it's very important. And I've come to realization that I've learned to treat until I see the demonstration. Because a lot of the time, we let it go and everything, and we don't see the demonstration. But I think it's very important. That's where we have the power to even treat in Christ consciousness, which is to treat until we see it.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you, and we're talking as practitioners here, and we're not all practitioners, but, it's very important to treat until we see the demonstration. And I it just came up. I had to bring that up, I guess.
That just actually gave me another idea. What about that also home group leaders are prayer partners with each other and treating for each other?
We do that already.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, we just said the same thing. We do that already.
Okay, good.
Our members also treat for each other, our prayer partners.
Good.
But there's nothing wrong with connecting with someone and say, let's treat for this either, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when 2 or 3 gather, dear, the world shifts.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, beautiful, Michelle. Thank you. And it's so funny. Like, there really is only one line, because that's part of my talk tomorrow about them and just the power of prayer. Oh. So, yeah, very cool.
So maybe the prayer partners can be any prayer partner. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the group. There may be sort of not enough, or maybe somebody has somebody else they want as a prayer partner. I don't know. Just throw it in here. Just be a prayer partner, or have a prayer partner, or engage in prayer partnership.
Yes, I'm going to put engage in prayer partnership, or just have a prayer partner and be praying with them.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is there anything else anybody would like to cover before we head off?
I just want to say that I'm grateful for the program and the work that's gone behind the program, and to Lena, who keeps us on track, and just the whole entire process. I think when we had a vision of this on the board of directors last November, December, remember? And there was talk about it. I think that we didn't know where it was going, and we tried not to outline, but we just knew that it was going to be something great. Mm-hmm. And I think the demonstration of that from each of us, those on the call today and those who aren't even, I think that we've all contributed something to it. And I feel very grateful and connected for that. So I just wanted to add that because it's recorded.
And I feel only gratitude for this group and members of the group, because it is changing life.
Yeah.
It is changing life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in the business of transformation, and these teachings and these practices, they transform people's lives. They've transformed my life, your life. It's like this stuff works, and it's so potent. So,
and it's ongoing. It's always happening.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Anybody else want to share anything before we close out?
Well, I do. I'm very grateful for this in my life, showing up at the right time, for allowing me to continue to step into a big yes for me, rather than getting lost in the condition of not working now for 7 months and not feeling purposeful, this for me has created a container of continuous support with the leader champions, with you, Helen, and with my group. And it's a continuous forward motion as to there is purpose, there is value. It just shows up in different ways, and not being attached to what it needs to look like or how it's going to show up. It's just being clear that for me, it was important to not let go of what, I like being of service. And this was the container of me to continue being of service. And Fred, I thank you for your acknowledgement, but I'm very blessed to have you and Sonia as my group and the people that bring out the messages. So it's a continuous evolving form of experiencing life at a higher level. And for that, I'm grateful.
Thank you, Lena.
I'm very happy to be a part of a growing, evolving, transforming community. I've never had community before. I've had bits and pieces of community and different things that I've done. And I'm just glad to be a spoke on the wheel, along with all the other spokes, folks.
Folks and folks.
Well,
what a wordsmith, Judy. Judy, what a wordsmith you are.
It just happens. It didn't really, I don't plan these things.
Well, that's divine for you, right?
I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Different spokes for different people.
Give it to Aaron. He'll have one written in no time.
No kidding. He's singing this Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Rubber meets the road.
Oh, I love it, Margaret Ann. Yeah. So perfect. Oh, that's good. Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you for just being such an incredible contribution. And, just imagine how this will expand in the next 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years from now. Like, we're at the starting point. And for me, laying all this foundational work and touching in and coming together with everyone is so valuable. So I want to thank each and every one of you, because this is what I see for CSL. Like, I want community I want community from the heart, and that this love just explodes the center. So thank you. And I appreciate you taking your time on today and Saturday morning. And I know you all have stuff to do. And Fred and Michelle, you're on vacation, partying it up. And it's like, yeah, wow, we're halfway through August and then we move into September. So, and I was thinking that probably our next meeting should be in January, once Carol and Linda have gotten started in their group as well. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. Good.
Yeah, we have so much happening between now and the end of the year. I think, you guys do a great job of touching in with your leader champions touching with you, your leader champions touching with me. Like, the lines of communication for the most part are pretty darn good. So I think if we do this in January and we'll have the addition of Carol and Linda as well, that would be good.
After Kauai.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, I will send out the recording. I will also send you the PowerPoint notes. And again, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, Helen, stay on.
Okay. I will. So I'm just going to say blessings, love, and gratitude. And I trust and know that, you know, Spirit is just dancing up a storm and supporting us in this beautiful, enriching, heart-focused, loving community that is expanding and expanding and expanding. And each one of us constituted as a spoke in the wheel that moves this beautiful energy into the next evolution of whatever it's supposed to be. I am so very grateful to each and every one of you. I love you, bless you, thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Love you.
So it is.
Love and lights. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye. Bye.